Hey, what's up? Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2006 rom-com, rom-dramedy, rom-dramedy. I like it. The Holiday. This is written and directed by Nancy Meyers. This stars Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, Jack Black, Eli Wallach. Eli Wallach, rest in peace. He plays his character of Arthur absolutely perfect. But you have these four incredible actors and actresses: Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, Jack Black. This is the first thing I ever actually saw Jude Law in. I didn't know Jude Law existed until this movie, to be completely honest. So what, November, December 2006, that was my junior year of high school. And I remember a bunch of my theater friends at the time were going to go see it. And I had no idea who Jude Law was, so it was very entertaining being introduced to him in this particular role. I knew Jack Black, I knew Cameron Diaz, I knew Kate Winslet, I just didn't know Jude Law. So this is a 2 hour and 15-minute long movie. This is long. We all know how I feel about long films, right? I don't do well with long films. This is one of my favorite films of all time. Nancy has such a unique way of bringing these characters' arcs to light and then facing, certain fears and traumas and overcoming and bonding and exceeding and all these different things. But I think my favorite part of this entire film, and we'll talk about plot points, but my favorite part of this entire film is the score. The musical score is an actual conversation piece of the characters. And then it's actually brought into what the character of Jack Black's character of Miles is playing, because he makes music for movies. It's used as actual score in the film. So it's very meta in itself, and I absolutely love it. Love it. So Cameron Diaz plays his character called Amanda, and Iris is played by Kate Winslet. They both are going through very odd breakups. Kate Winslet and Jude Law are brother and sister. He plays the character of Graham. They live in England, Surrey, and London, respectively. And I have family friends in Surrey, so that was pretty cool seeing that. Cameron Diaz and Miles are friends, kind of, in Los Angeles. So Cameron and Kate's characters kind of do a home exchange for the holidays. So Iris would live at Amanda's house. Amanda would live at Iris's house, basically for the 2 weeks. That is where Iris meets Miles, and they have some stuff going on, and that's where Amanda meets Graham, and they have some stuff going on. Graham is a widower. He has 2 children. He doesn't really want to bring that into a new relationship kind of a thing where when he starts to get feelings for Amanda. Miles is currently dating someone who he then catches cheating on him. So then Iris is telling him about her ex, how she's been always in love with him and she can't seem to, get rid of him because he's always still a part of her life. So they share traumas. Everybody shares equal traumas. And what's really fun about this is that you have the 2 main actresses, the 2 lead actresses. You don't see them together until the very end of the film. Very end of the film is when all 4 of them are converging, for a New Year's Eve celebration. So we go through Hanukkah, we go through Christmas, we go through New Year's. The holiday, right? The holidays, the holiday season. So it's great having the character of Arthur as well, this old school Hollywood guy who used to write. He has Emmys, he has Academy Awards, he is about to have this, a day with Arthur, or what do they call it? A night with Arthur, where he would talk about the business and stuff like that Iris helps him, get ready for. He is the next door neighbor of Amanda, and Iris meets him because he gets lost one day on the street and she knows where he lives, so they form a friendship. It's really cool seeing the adversity of these characters as well, because there's that growth. Nancy wrote Graham's character as, a guy who enjoys the single life when he can, away from his daughters, so that way he can compartmentalize being the fun dad, but also being allowed to date ever since his wife passed away, right? But he's very emotional. He cries when he's sad. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't try to be the strong man, right? He shows his emotion. And I think that was important, especially 14 years ago this movie came out, because you still have people now that are very against men crying. Men can't cry. Men are human. Everyone is allowed to cry. Kids can cry, adults can cry, teens can cry, old people can cry. If you're upset or happy, because tears come in both upset and happy or frustration, tears are just a physical form of expression that sometimes you can't control. It just happens. I get so choked up watching this film, even 14 years later, that it brings me to certain moments throughout the time. 14 years? So that's what? You've lived 6 different lifetimes in that time period, whatever. It's interesting reflecting when you can relate to certain aspects of these characters, to have that character development, to have that musical interlude, go through the entire film. This is one of my favorite films, not just favorite Christmas films. It's one of my favorite films that nobody really talks about, and I don't understand why, because Nancy did a fantastic job. The icon that she is, she did a fantastic job. If you have not seen The Holiday, I need you to go watch it. Go find it on a streaming site. I know it's on Vudu. I'm sure you could buy it or rent it on Amazon. Go watch it. You will not regret it. Thank you. Mucho mahalo.